your name, your program, your index number, and your hall of affiliation for our records, please.
Thank you, Ma'am. I'm Evelyn Edugate, level 300 student, reading BSc Agribusiness with the registration number AG/AGB/21/0034 and an affiliate of Kwame Nkrumah Hall. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Why are you here this morning?
The Chair, thank you for the question. I'm here this morning to be vetted for the office of the SRC Women's Commissioner. Thank you.
Who is the Women's Commissioner?
The Women's Commissioner is a female student of the University of Cape Coast who advocates for ladies on campus. Thank you.
Just that?
And addresses issue concerning to female students on campus.
So if you're a male student and you have a problem, you can't go to the Women's Commissioner?
A male student can also come to the office of the Women's Commissioner.
And they can equally help them?
Yes, please.
So who is the current Women's Commissioner?
Ms. Hawa Awudu.
Do you work with her?
Yes, ma'am.
How can I verify that? Because I've not really seen you state it here. Which committee is that?
I'm here to work with her.
So why did you say you work with her? Because I've scanned through your CV already. So I know you don't work with her. So why would you say you work with her?
Thank you, Mom. So actually, she will be having an entrepreneurship skill training that I'll be training the section of soap making. But we have already gone through the process and how to purchase the items, so we are here to do that.
But the Office of the Women Commissioner, if I should put it that way, they have committees they work with.
Yes, please.
Are you part of any of those committees? Yes, no?
No, please.
Why?
Ma'am, please, I filed for their nomination to be part of the committee, but I wasn't shortlisted.
I see. And I can verify that?
Yes, please.
You have a very impressive CV, not the style, but some of the things you have done. So we would have a chat on that before we touch on other issues. Tell me about Lysan detergent.
Thank you, Mom. The pronunciation is Lysan.
Lysan, thank you very much.
Lysan Detergent is a small-scale enterprise owned by me, and that initiative was brought out to help my friends who are around doing nothing, in order to help me sell, to make profits from themselves and cater for themselves as well. That made me brought up this business called Lysan Detergent. Thank you.
So now that you are in school, and you are the CEO, right?
The owner.
But you've written here CEO.
Yes, please.
Or CEO means something else. You are the Chief Executive Officer of, is that what? It's Lysan?
Yes, ma'am.
Lysan Detergents, true or false?
True.
Okay. So now that you are in school, who is taking care of that?
Madam, I have an assistant who helped me out. That's my cousin. So whilst I'm on campus, she runs it for me.
I see. So how many people have you employed?
Together with me, we are 7 as a team.
7?
Yeah.
And you make enough money to pay them all?
Madam, we do it as a teamwork, yes, but I'm the owner of it. So I don't pay them, but we make the profits together and then share it.
And you share the profit?
Yes, please.
I see. Tell me about Adiepena Catering and Training Services.
Thank you, the Chair. Adiepena Catering and Training Services is one of another initiative that also train students, institutions, clubs, associations on how to make pastries and also decoration as such. Thank you.
How many people do you employ there as well?
Madam, with that one, I haven't employed anyone, but my cousin and I, we render the training service to people who want us to train them.
Have you registered the company?
No, please.
So you don't pay tax.
No, please.
You have 3 different companies. You have Adenina or
That one is not my company. I went to learn more about the catering service over there. Yes.
so why did you bring that here? Because it was oh, okay, professional experience. So you learn how to bake bread.
Yes.
I see. So in your 2 companies, the license and the Adiepena, you don't pay tax.
Yes, ma'am. We
You
have
know
not.
it's a crime.
Yes, it's a crime, but it's a small scale, so we are yet to register it with the
You
registrar.
haven't registered the company.
No, please.
Well, what are you waiting for? You should register it. I think you are very industrious.
Yes.
Saying that alone, I'm not saying you should say yes and no. I'm just commending you for those initiatives. Now, some of your years under educational background, you use dash and hyphens interchangeably. That is not right. So in doing your CV, there should be some level of consistency. If you want to use dash, use dash. If you want to use hyphen, make sure you use hyphen. And that runs through. If you come to the leadership experience, it runs through. And I think that is not good enough. Now, tell me your role as the SRC Rep 3 in Kwame Nkrumah Hall. What did you do?
Thank you, the chair. So my role as the SRC Rep 3 for Kwame Nkrumah Hall. Our duty is to disseminate information, but since we are 3 in all, we have divided it. So I take the visual section of delivery of information, that I disseminate the information through our various social media handles for our fleet to have access to it, and also lodge complaints of appliances that are faulty to the respective personnel, and also execute other duties assigned to me by the hall management and the executive as well. Thank you.
You are in level 300.
Yes, please.
And you have been SRC Rep, floor rep, committee member. Any positions in the class?
No, please.
No position in the class.
Yes.
Tell me about diaspora girls.
Thank you, the chair. Diaspora Girls Senior High School, the school I attended for my Western, and is at Eastern Region, Equiapim South, and it was established in 2001, basically to help the female students in that community. It was a non-governmental education background or institution, but later became a government-owned institution. Yes, please.
Why do you want to be the Women's Commission?
Thank you for the question. I am passionate and concerned about issues relating to women, and I believe that every woman have the equal opportunity to develop themselves. So that has been my driving force to aspire for this position.
What are the issues of women that you are concerned about? What are some of them?
Okay, currently I have an issue relating to genital problems.
Genital?
Yes, and personal hygiene is already a common something, but it's also something disturbing our female students on campus. Yeah.
So last year you were in school, last 2 years you were here, but you never joined the Women's Commissioner committees. You never joined any of their committees. Even though you think that women have issues that bother you, you never joined to proffer solutions or help. You never did that. Why?
I didn't join the SRC Women's Committee, but I was part of my whole Women's Wing Committee. Yes, please.
If somebody comes to you and say that they are pregnant, what advice would you give them? A student comes to you and say, look, I'm pregnant. What would you tell them?
Thank you, the chair. If a student should approach me that she is pregnant, the best advice I'll give to the student to go to the counselor of the hall or their department for further information about that issue.
Let me ask you about contraceptives. Recently, I had a call from one of the pharmacies, and they told me that they are making a lot of money off students. But as parents, they are not happy because some of those contraceptives has to be taken maybe once a year or for emergency purposes. But students take them virtually every day. And they are afraid that they may be barren at a point. How would you advise students who are using contraceptives on the daily basis?
Thank you, Mom, for the question. So the use of contraceptive is to prevent pregnancy, but we have other means of preventing pregnancy. So as a student, you shouldn't stick to the use of contraceptives since it might have a future complications for you. So my advice is they either stick to the use of condoms or better still seek more advice from a health personnel if they should go into family planning.
So that's all your advice? Contraceptive, family planning?
No, please.
What else?
My advice for them, they shouldn't constantly use the contraceptive because it would affect them. But we have other means of preventing pregnancy. That's the use of condom if they are sexually active. But yes, too, they can reduce the durations or how they go about their sexual life. Yes, please.
I thought you would say they should abstain. Or you're afraid to say that?
Madam, I can't.
If you say that, they'll not vote for you.
No, please. I can't tell them to stay away from it, but I advise them to reduce how they go about it.
But do you know it's causing a lot of problems? Or you don't know?
I know.
So you have to advise them and advise them properly. Don't say things because you want their vote. They have to stop. It's for mummies and daddies. It's not for school children.
Yes, Mom.
Eh?
Yes.
But you can't say that. Diaspora ladies.
But Madam, everyone has the right and freedom to go into sexual activity, depending on the individual's status and backgrounds. So if a student is into sexual activities, I can't boldly stop the student, but I advise the student to reduce how he or she does it. Yes.
What about abortion? If somebody comes to you and say they are pregnant, but they want to abort the baby, as a women's commissioner, what advice would you give them?
Madam, with this, I can't give an advice, but transfer them to a counselor. He or she is in the best shoe to answer that question for the students. Yes, please.
What new do you bring on board as a women's commissioner?
Please, the question again.
What new do you bring on board? You've seen what the other commissioners have done.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, you want to be a commissioner, right? What are you bringing on board? Why the desire to be a commissioner? Why? What are you bringing? That is so substantial.